How y'all doing, guys? Y'all doing good? I'm tired.
Tired? Season hasn't even started yet, man. What are you going to do in
3
week
weeks
6?
of camp. Of 30 years of this, you look more tired. So,
All right, raise your hands. We'll get you a microphone for Coach Schieb.
In the tight ends, you got Keene, Mitchell, obviously, and then Justin Fuente's been talking about Nick Gallo all camp, and then you got Drake. That dynamic, I mean, is that pretty special right now?
yeah,
what you
we've
have
really
there?
progressed over, the last few years. The bodies that we were looking for, when we first started out, it was Stephen Peoples and Sam Rogers, they were kind of like tailback guys, but we've, through recruiting, have kind of built that position up, and we've always liked to use two in the game as we can, and this gives us some options, I think, to be able to do that, so maybe create some matchup troubles just through size and stuff. But been happy with Nick just because he's of course, if you knew his brother, just the intelligence of football and a little savvy and all that helps, and James having just a little experience last year. Of course, Dalton's been great. So with Drake there too, I mean, that really helps us with a good nucleus of bodies to do some things. So.
Raise your hand. Questions for Coach Schieb?
Could you walk us through some of the options you have in the return game and punt and also kickoff return?
Personnel-wise?
Yeah,
Or,
who you like, what you see?
punt, obviously, we struggle punt return-wise. Number one, we got to field the ball, and ball security is going to be the number one issue. We went through about 3 or 4 guys and never felt totally great last year. We feel better at this time. We got Hezekiah right now, Grimsley there, and Tavion Robinson has been the 2 top guys right now. Of course, Tay's a freshman. Of course, it always concerns you a little bit there, but he does have natural ball skills and is pretty confident, and because you're going to have to make some good decisions back there too. So them are the 2 lead guys. Kickoff returner, of course, you have Wheatley. If we can keep him healthy and all that, he showed some great things I thought last year when he was back there. Keyshawn King is a guy that has looked good also, and you'd like to have tailbacks back there if you could. But Farley and McLeese have a little experience doing that too, so I think we're going to have some guys to choose from. Now it's going to be the guy that goes, makes the plays and makes great decisions on game day that hopefully will be getting most of the reps. So.
Specifically with Robinson, Justin said one of your scrimmages was very special teams heavy. What things do you do? Like you said, he's a freshman and you don't know how he's going to react when he gets hit or the ball's in the air. And
yeah.
What do you do to simulate that with a freshman?
Well, we did a live kicking scrimmage, a week ago where, it's all live tackling and everything. He looked comfortable back there doing that. I don't know if you totally can completely just do everything. You kind of hold your breath sometimes, but you try to just. That's our job as coaches: see who does things naturally and confidently, and then you got to throw them out there and they got to go play if they're young guys. So obviously, you like the maturity of Hezzy back there and everything too. And he was back there some last year, and I don't know what we're gonna do exactly, but I know that it'll be one of them 2 guys more likely back there.
Sorry, if I could follow one more on that. Because of the ACC network, now you guys are playing these conference games earlier in the season. Is that a situation where you might feel better if you were playing a lesser opponent or a non-conference opponent to test these freshmen out? Does that change your approach?
It could. Sometimes you don't have choices on that. We played Florida State last year too, you know what I'm saying? So, they put the schedule out there and you got to go play it and deal with it. Obviously, if there's situations where maybe there's a backup, it don't have to be game 1, but it could be game 2 or 3 that, you can sprinkle guys in and there just to see how they handle the situation in game day environment. So, yeah, you would like to be able to do that. Sometimes you can.
I don't know if we got a chance to talk to you in the spring, but what has made James Mitchell kind of grab the reins and go with it kind of in spring? Obviously, more reps with Keno, but
yeah.
What have you seen from him, his maturation?
Well, he's athletic, number one. He's like a big wide out there. But what makes this thing unique for him is he'll block. He can get in there and mix it up a little bit, in the run game. And that's when things become more valuable, when you can move him outside and still do all the things inside that you need to be able to run the ball too. So, and I think at that position, it's you got to be smart now. Okay, we move them guys around everywhere, and from knowing all the receiver stuff to knowing all the pass protections to knowing all the run game stuff. They're almost like the quarterback, you know what I'm saying? So all them guys are very smart, and that's what's helped us be able to do more things with them guys.
You were really young last year, just as a general roster makeup. I know you pull a lot of those guys, gunners and stuff like that on special teams from those young classes. Does having a more mature roster this year help in that sense?
No
Are
question.
there still guys from that freshman class this year that you expect to play on those
Yeah,
teams?
the incoming freshmen.
Yeah.
Of course, I think they're always involved with the special teams. Now, I do feel better with some guys that have covered some kicks, you know, or a little bit older, and I think that's offense and defense too, obviously too. But I think the young guys, you know, especially with the 4 games, you can play 4 and still get the red shirt. You know, we kind of have strategies involved when we use these guys to help you with depth and keep guys fresher on defense and offense. So we keep training them guys, you know, all throughout the year. Sometimes we'll play a true freshman in the first 4 and then decide to redshirt, or we may play him later and still be able to redshirt him later if it is a scenario like that. But it's all hands on board, you know, on all them units, you know, and being able to stay fresh and use good people as starters, as backups, it's core special team guys. It's all they do basically, and we want good balance in all that, and it's everybody on board.
Speaking of that, is Nick someone you see playing extensively, or is he someone you kind of wait and see?
Oh, I hate to say anything, but I think we're telling him he better be ready to play. So there's a good chance you'll see him possibly game 1 too. So if we're playing 2 tight ends more, I don't know exactly if we're going to do that all the time, but we're definitely going to need the bodies in there. But as far as intelligence and knowing what to do, he'll be able to do that. So, and physically too, he's came in good shape and strong and all that, all them things you need also.
Dalton kind of going under the radar now a little bit just because he missed spring, but he had a great season. What, that time away, did that help him kind of recharge a little bit? What did you kind of see from him during the spring? And then, what are your expectations for him? Where did he need to kind of get better, after kind of a very good season last year?
Yeah, and there's, I think we all, even as older players, we need to continue to improve fundamentally. He has gotten so much better, in space, running routes, just, you can just see the progression with him. He's always been a tough physical blocker, and he's improved there too with just getting his hands inside. But, the big thing we ask out of Dalton is just leadership, being able to get in there. He's an older guy now. The players look up to him and respect him because he's a worker, and just being a little bit more vocal there, boy, he can really, really help us as a team and an offense. So we count on him for a lot. Now, him missing the spring, there's some guys like even, that we back off a little bit in camp. We know what they can do. We know they're tough. We know they're physical. So we got to get them to game day. And we tried to limit some of the things, that we do with him during camp.
Going back to the freshman group, I'm curious with the redshirt rule, is it better to have the same 10 guys covering a kickoff week in, week out? And with that redshirt rule, is there pressure on you to rotate people a little more and move?
Oh, when you got good kickers and they can get some touchbacks for you, you kind of see how naturally they do things if a lot of them are touchbacks. But I do think there's some chemistry involved there. But we, and a lot of people don't notice, but we rotate guys quite a bit. We're watching to see if Reggie Floyd's out there and he's on a 10-play drive. We'll sub him on whatever it is, kickoff, return punt, or whatever the scenario is. So, so we do. The key is that, boy, having as much depth on them teams, just like anywhere else, is important. So.
Brian Johnson went through some struggles last year, struggled in the spring game. What did you kind of talk to him about? What was kind of the key? I know the opportunities were kind of far and few between at times.
No doubt.
What do you kind of see from him?
Well, Brian's talented, I think, and he went into a situation. I think he made like his first 6 or 7 kicks, and then he missed about 4 or 5 in a row. So, and when you look at it, a lot of them are 40 plus, but to be a great kicker, you got to make them. So and help your team as much as you can, you got to make the majority of them. So. We believe in Brian, and he's done a great job with the kickoff stuff too this fall camp. So we're putting a lot on him, and he's a junior now, been here. We're expecting big things and more consistency out of him.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Let's go.